Hi Sprinkles! So today we're gonna have a talk about struggling, about mental health, about body image. We're not going to get into any specifics. I don't necessarily think there should be a content warning, but if talking about mental health issues, body image, things like that, if those are a trigger for you, please watch a different video. I will not mind. But I'd love to be there to talk to you about potential struggles and how I can help. I look forward to seeing you in a bit. I will toss it to No Makeup Cupcake, but take care of yourself. See you soon. Hi, Sprinkles. Today, let's talk about things that are important. Let's talk about the benefits of doing your makeup when you don't feel good about yourself. Too real? Too much? Let's get into it. So, let's get into it, she said, and then put stuff on her face where she couldn't talk. Let's get into it. So today I don't have a ton of time to get ready, but I want to at least put on a little bit of makeup because I am struggling today. We all have those days. I call them bad body days, where you wake up and you're like, I don't feel good about my body. And granted, look at me. I'm overweight. I know that. That said, I know that I also have been heavier than this. I've been lighter than this. I will probably fluctuate between this size for a while. I've been trying to be healthier. However, I do really love junk food, specifically candy. Candy is like my number one nemesis, and that is incredibly common for folks who are neurodivergent like me. If you're neurodivergent, comment your comment in the comments. Tell me how your brain works. For me, I'm neurodivergent. I have ADHD. And I recognize that I used to self-medicate with candy because the caffeine in it, well, not the caffeine, the sugar in it made my brain feel good. So I would oftentimes just eat a bunch of candy because it made my brain feel good. And that's something that, people don't really look at you the same when you're eating a bunch of candy as a teenager. They don't really judge you as harshly. We're going to use the love palette because we're trying to love ourselves today. And it's right here and it's easy. So I'm going to use the shade Affinity, which is the only shimmer in the palette. And I just put what is this thing called? Hold please. I just had it. Here it is. It's a sample of Stila. Remember her? Remember Stila? There we go. We kind of remember her. This is a sample of the Liquid Play eyeshadow. This is in the shade Sandy Matte. And I like to just kind of smudge it all over. We're going to go over it with a concealer in a bit to kind of smudge out some of those edges. But I'm just throwing on a shimmer over top of it. Looks nice enough. I don't have any set plans today, but that's kind of the point, is I want to feel nicer for me, which is hard. But I also recognize that a lot of people feel this way. A lot of people feel insecure. A lot of people hate their body. And I know some people talk about how they're not even looking for feeling positive about their body. They just want to feel neutral about it. And I totally resonate with that. My body has been through a lot in my X amount of years, in my nearly 38 years going around this weird ball of earth. But overall, I'd say the last few years, I've definitely made good progress in loving my body more and appreciating my body more. A lot of that comes from me having to actively remember the nice things that people say. So like if my friends tell me I look nice, or my partner, or whoever, it can be as simple as, like even a family member who's like, oh my God, I love that shirt on you, or oh my God, I love that color. Like those things go a long way. I mixed my MAC Studio Fix with a primer, and that makes it feel a little lighter on my skin. And my skin is incredibly dry. Ugh. I gave myself concealer lips by not being careful. Anyway, I have come to realize that for me specifically, as someone who has a hard time remembering nice things, I can remember like the meanest shit that someone said to me 20 years ago, but I can't remember like the nice thing a friend told me a week ago. You know? Or like in some cases even, I will like talk myself out of them saying that and be like, oh, well, they were just saying it to be nice. I mean, yeah, they said a nice thing, but they didn't have to say that. We're doing like a no brush challenge, I've realized, because I'm too lazy to get out my brushes. But I've come to realize that for me, what helps me the most in these moments of feeling gross about myself, which that is the term that I used today of how I felt about me, was I just felt gross about myself. I'm using the cream blush that's in this Love palette. Oh yeah. I love this blush and everyone else hates it. I talked about it in one of my other videos about how I saw so many people use this palette and they're like, it's great, except the blush is fucking terrible. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's so cute. It's like a cute little pink blush. But I recognize that I have a very specific undertone for this blush to where it really does just look like a little wash of color. Anyway, when I'm feeling gross about myself, I have to not go back to like old pictures or things like that. What I have to do, I'm using the highlighter that's in the palette too, because we're just going real subtle today. I will say, I wish the highlighter that was in this palette was pink. I think I'd like that more. It's like a champagne-y color. It's very nice. However, I wish it was like a cool tone. Like icy pink, maybe? That'd be fun. Maybe that's too monochromatic. I don't know. But I feel very naked in this makeup look today. Anyway, going back, what I have to do in these moments where I'm feeling gross about myself and need to kind of shake myself out of it is I will go back, and I actually have a note saved of all of the like recent compliments I've gotten. Oh yeah. So if you're someone who's my friend and you're watching this and you've sent me a compliment recently, I have it saved in my phone. I have it saved in my phone. That way, in these moments where I feel like my self-worth is tied to my looks, which it's not, but the mean girl inside my head is very mean. So when I feel like my self-worth is tied to how I look, which I would never do to anyone else. I would never do that to anyone else. No one else's worth is tied to their looks, so why should mine be? You know, that's not how I treat other people. That's not how I want to be treated. So when I'm having those moments where I feel like, ugh, I'm gross, none of my clothes fit me right, nothing feels good, everything's the worst, what I do is I open my little notes app in my phone. And I use the Notes app Color Note because I'm not an iPhone user. I know they have like their own little iNotes, and I'm sure I have something similar with Samuel Sung, but I use Color Note. It's great for checklists too, by the way. I go into my little Color Note and I look at my little note that says nice things people have said to me or about me. I can't remember what I have it titled, but it basically just says nice things. And then I can read through and assure myself that those people still feel that way. And it's hard because even mustering up the energy to open that app, that's a big ask some days. Some days when you just feel really, really gross and you don't want to do anything, it's kind of hard to even get to that point. And I know for some people who don't struggle with insecurity, which if you don't struggle with insecurity, please tell us in the comments how. Tell us how. But if you don't struggle with insecurity, I'm sure that kind of sounds crazy. That like, why is it so hard to even open an app? For the same reason that it's hard when people are going through mental health struggles to take a shower. It's the same thing. It's a different scale and a different degree, but it is the same thing. And I will not be convinced otherwise. I think I want some eyeliner, but what color do I want? I am wearing this tie-dye pink and blue situation, but I feel like my eyeliner kind of doesn't have to match it. Again, I'm just running errands today. But pretty privilege is real. And I want to feel nicer. Ooh, yeah, that was a good choice. I love this eyeliner. I wish I could tell you what it's called. It's the purple multi-chrome eyeliner from ColourPop. I wish I could tell you what it's called. Ooh. Ooh. My left eye is always harder than my right. Oh. Let's wrap it up. I've got mascara to put on. I'm going to put on a lippy. But all this to say, I'm sure that you have seen people on the internet, maybe me, and thought, wow, she's so full of confidence. Nothing gets her down. Just kidding. We're all human people at the end of the day. We all go through it. We all have rough times. We all have good times. It's what I consider the human condition, being anxious and stuff like that. Let me do my mascara and I'll be right back. All right. Here's the final look. I mean, I need to spray it down with setting spray, but this is essentially it. I'm poking out my curls. This is actually day 2 curls, and you know what? Not the worst. Not the worst, and I'll take it. I've been using the CoverGirl Clump Crusher mascara. I will say it's not my favorite. I wish it kind of did a little more. Like, I have good lashes, but I feel like this one, it's just okay. But here's the eye look close up, I think. Yeah, Yeah. A little messy, a little fun. For the lippy, I don't know why that was taking so long. I'm using the Superstay ink crayon in the shade Lead the Way. Or if you want to be obtuse, it's called Led the Way. Get it? Because sometimes you can be kind of obtuse. Anyway, all this to say, do I feel better? Kinda. Will I feel better after I drink some water and take a breath and recalibrate and rethink about the things that make me feel nice? Yeah. Will I feel even better after I do something that helps me feel better? Yeah. That's kind of how feeling better works. But for now, I feel a little better. I feel like this makeup look is nice for the errands that I need to run today. It's pretty subtle. It's a pretty easy, everyday makeup look. I will probably change my sweater, but we'll see. Maybe I won't. Who knows? But either way, I think it's important to talk about struggling. I feel like so often people feel like they have to struggle alone, and you're not alone. We can be alone together. But I want to be here for you if you're struggling, and I appreciate all of you being here for me. I know this is a bit of a different tone. I'm usually in a pretty bubbly, good mood, but even bubbly folks sometimes need a day. So, I will be back to our regularly scheduled content soon enough, but I wanted to at least pop on here and let you know that if you're struggling right now, you're not alone. And whether it's issues with your body or just stress or the world around us or everything just being harder than it should be, I'm here for you. And I'm happy to do it. I have said before, I don't really have a lot of friends who are into makeup at all. So having this little channel that hardly anyone sees makes me happy. Maybe the right person will find it and it will help them, and I'll be happy knowing that I helped you. So I think that's about everything. I appreciate you being here. I am happy you're here. I hope you take care of yourself. I hope you're kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.